demonstrate the work of the GovMO payment solution deployed on the Corda network operated by the business network operator. We'll go over the steps involved in making an ISO20022 compliant transaction and tracking the status of your payments in the participant's application. The GovMO payment solution consists of payment gateway core apps, one core app per payment services provider or PSP, and an open source SDK that can be integrated into your core apps. The solution enables users of a Corda business network to connect to associated off-chain banks and other PSPs. Let's look at each GovMO payment solution component in more detail. The GovMO Payment SDK is a Kotlin library containing classes and methods used by the payment workflow. The SDK's functionality is a part of a custom payment core app built by the BNO or a third party and installed on the participant's node in a Corda business network. A GovMO payment gateway is a core app provided by the BNO. It manages on-chain payment flows initiated by the participant through the GovMO Payment SDK and communicates with an off-chain PSP gateway to pass payment instructions and receive payment status updates. The GovMO payment solution allows the participant to initiate a payment flow by calling the GovMO Payment SDK implemented in the custom payment core app. As a result of payment initiation by the participant, a payment instruction is generated as an ISO20022 formatted message or message in any other standard as per the business need. From the payment core app, the instruction is passed through the GovMO gateway implemented as another core app installed on the Corda node within the same business network. The GovMO gateway acts as an authorized endpoint connected to the payment gateway on the side of a PSP and transfers the payment instruction received from the participant on-chain to the PSP located off-chain. The GovMO payment solution manages the payment flow. As part of the flow, it creates Corda states and updates them based on responses received by the payment gateway from the PSP. Payment status updates are communicated back to the participant. For the purposes of the demo, we're simultaneously launching 3 Corda nodes: the GovMO Payment Gateway node, the GovMO Participant or Payer node built by each participant based on the GovMO Payment SDK, and the Notary. In a real-life setting, each transaction participant will only be able to see the nodes they are permitted to see. In this demo, both the Payer and the Gateway clients are sample applications used to showcase GovMO technologies. In a production environment, participants' own application will be used instead of the Payer client, and an associated PSP's interface will be connected to the GovMO Payment Gateway. Corda Enterprise Network Manager will be used to run the Notary. After the gateway and the participant middleware converting Corda RPC into REST API calls is started, we can access the participant application, seen here on the left, and the payment gateway application, seen on the right. With these two side by side, let's proceed to registration. To use the payment functionality, participants have to be onboarded by a PSP. Here's how it happens. First, the participant requests to join the payment network. Then, the GovMO Payment Gateway provides the participant with a network ID, assigns them a participant ID, and registers the payment core app. Once the participant details are synced with the PSP, they can be used by the payer for payment initiation via their user interface. Let's see what it looks like in our sample client application. To register and make a transaction as a network participant, enter the participant ID and your target business network name obtained during onboarding. After that, enter your desired transaction amount, debtor and creditor details, and click Submit. The transaction now has a created status. The statuses of all transactions can be tracked in the payment section. You will know that your payment has reached the payment gateway once its status changes to Sent to Gateway. Now let's take a look at what's happening at the payment gateway. The payment service provider can accept or reject the transaction. This payment is accepted. Let's now see the sequence of data flows running on the back end. The participant initiates the payment transaction off-chain via a web UI. The payment request is handled by a web server on the participant's side and sent via Corda RPC to the custom payment core app installed on-chain on the participant's node. The custom payment Corda app passes the payment request as an instruction formatted according to the industry-accepted payment standard, for example, an ISO20022 formatted XML, to the Gavamo Payment SDK. The SDK pre-validates the payment instruction and creates a state, or several states if multiple payments are instructed, with an attachment containing the original payment instruction. The payment instruction is sent to the Gavamo Payment Gateway. The Gavamo Payment Gateway validates the payment instruction. The Payment Gateway checks if the participant is authorized to submit this payment request. It validates the payment instruction from the following aspects: node identity, checking whether a payment request is received from the node that initially registered the participant initiating the request, and participant ID, checking whether the participant is registered with the payment network and if participant ID is registered to the participant's node. If not valid, the process is terminated and a corresponding status is sent back to the participant's Corda app. If valid, its status is updated to reflect that the payment instruction is accepted by the payment gateway for further delivery. The payment instruction itself is sent to the external gateway of the PSP. Once the PSP replies to the payment request, a return payment status is communicated back to the participant's node. The status can be pending, accepted, or rejected. The updated status is made available as a new Corda state in the payment statuses chain. The participant's Corda app subscribes to the payment status updates to be notified on payment processing progress. If the payment instruction cannot be immediately settled by the PSP, the payment gateway monitors the PSP for payment status updates. Once received, the updated payment request status is communicated to the participant's node. Let's create a new payment of £200 and have it rejected at the gateway. Its status in the participant's application has changed to rejected. Let's create another couple of payments to review the process. Here's a £10 payment that will be accepted by the payment system. And here's a £20 one that is being rejected. This ends our Gavamo Payment Solution demo. Visit us at gavamo.com to learn more, request